appropriately, gap years offer students a chance to mature and gain life experience before pursuing their post-secondary education. A gap year can ease the transition between high school and college and university, leaving students more focused on their career goals and more hireable following their post-secondary education. Oliver Bray is a co-founder of X-treme Gap, a British company which students hire to plan safe yet exciting travel experiences during their gap year. He tells me why it's so important to plan ahead before leaving the gap.
Why do you recommend students take a year off before going into college or university?
A lot of people go away to just learn a bit about themselves, about the world, and experience something that's completely new and original to them. Other people tend to go away purely for selfish reasons. They want to really do something fun. I mean, let's face it, why not? If you're going to university and you've been in education for all that amount of time, they get a lot of burnout, and if you're going to be in university again or college again for another 3-4 years, you actually want to go away and do something fun before you go back into education. So it can actually offer you a bit of a break as well. It's all about finding out about who you are as a person, how you can develop and go out there in the world and just enjoy it.
Why might gap year students seek professional planning from a company such as yours?
There are a couple of reasons why someone should use a gap year company, and that is that we've been to where they're going, we've properly researched it, checked it out, made sure that it's safe. And also parents as well, for people who are traveling, first-time travelers, they want to know that there's a support structure in place. So I guess it's really peace of mind for the gap year organisation.
Now, you mentioned parents worrying. I have some research here that shows a lot of parents here in Canada are worried that students who take a gap year might find it difficult to return back to their schooling. What would you say to them?
I would question how many of those people have actually been on a gap year themselves. I think it's a natural worry for parents who see their sons and daughters growing up and they have all these aspirations as to what they want to do. They want to get them into university or get them a good job and make them set for life. So much so that they don't really take into account the extra parts of education that you won't actually find out in a textbook. I've personally seen it a lot of times where people go to university and they're not really sure what they want to do. They've just kind of been pressured into picking a course. I'll go for that. They get there and then they realise that, well, actually their interests lie elsewhere, but they've just not had enough time in the real world to actually work out what they want to do.
Well, so what are some common mistakes gap year students can make when planning their year off?
I think lack of preparation in that they don't know where they're going. They don't know what they want to achieve. Anyone can just kind of go and get drunk, sat on a beach in Thailand and have a really good couple of weeks doing it, but it's not necessarily going to provide them with some of the benefits that a gap year can provide. So if people just go away and they're not really sure what they want to do and they haven't put in the time and effort into researching what they want to do and what they'll get the most out of, but that's probably what they'll get at the end of the experience. They won't have had such a good time, or they could have used their time a little bit better.
Okay, and just really quickly, what advice would you give a student considering taking a gap year?
Well, firstly, do it. Definitely do it. Not because I run a gap year company. I mean, obviously, I have a vested interest in sending people away. If you don't take a gap year between the ages of 18 and 19, you've got to question when you're going to do it. People are now increasingly coming out of university with a lot of student debt, which means that it's harder to travel after university.
Many universities like U of T and Harvard now offer graduating high school students the opportunity to defer their enrollment until the year after they've applied. However, without the proper planning, students might find their year off from their schooling a waste of time and make it more difficult to return the next year. Elena LaFleur, Say News Weekly.